Hey guys, so we are thinking here about some vocabulary, and this vocabulary may feel familiar, it may not feel familiar. Either way, it's going to help you as you go throughout this sort of geometry unit and use it as a tool to interpret these different shapes. So, this right here is an example of a segment, right? This X to Y. And what you might notice is that a segment is a line, right, that doesn't keep on going in both directions, right, like a line does, but a segment ends. So a segment is a line that sort of has these two dots, right? Like a saw has been taken, and we've created just this little piece, this segment. So a segment is a line with two end points. This segment over here, the way that we name it or what we call it is we call it X, Y, because it has point X and point Y as those two endpoints, right? Now, this little symbol right up here, that line over the top, super important, right? It tells you specifically that it is segment XY. So in math, right, it's a language. So this is sort of a shortcut way of, instead of having to write out the word segment, or no matter the language you are speaking, right? In math, that says segment. So putting that line over the top, it's like a little hat, right? It tells you segment XY. An angle then, come back over here. So an angle, right? We have this angle right here. Well, an angle has some key components. Come on. Da, 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 da. Okay, some key components, right? So we start here at this dot, if you will, and you'll notice that this, I don't know what's happening here. We notice that this has a line on the end. So this is not a dot, this is a line. That tells you that that will go forever in that direction. Similar here, this will go forever in that direction, but they both stop right here, right? So at point A, this angle is formed by these two rays that meet. A ray, just like in a sunshine, right? If we have a sunshine and we have a ray coming off of it, this will go forever. This stops. This is a ray where it has a line going in one direction forever. And so an angle is formed when two rays meet. Here we have this ray and here we have this ray, and they meet. Where they meet is called the vertex. So point A right here is called the vertex, this point where they meet. And the angle to the right, we call it angle A because it's named at point A. You might also see sometimes this right here, this little kind of curved shape tells you that that is an angle. And so this is angle A, angle A. A polygon. A polygon is a closed figure. So a polygon can be something like this rectangle over here. A polygon cannot be open. So this right here is open because there is nothing keeping it closed from here to here, right? So a polygon is a closed figure formed by at least three line segments, right? So you know that if we have something like this, it is never going to be able to be closed. You need a third line at least to be able to make a polygon. So it needs at least three line segments. Oops. Hello. Okay, that are called sides, right? So when they are in a polygon, they are not a line segment necessarily, even though they technically are, right? Because it's a line that has two endpoints right here, but it is called a side. So we have a triangle or a rectangle, right? These are all closed polygons that have at least three sides. So congruent is just a fancy math word for the same. So to be congruent means you have the same measure. The symbol that we use for congruent looks like this. So what you'll notice, right, is that segments can be congruent, angles can be congruent, and you want to make sure that you are noting this with the congruent symbol, comparing segment AB here. We know it's a segment because it has that little line over the top, and we know this is an angle here because we note it with that symbol for angle. Noting 50 degrees is the same or congruent to